Well, right now, we switch over. Chloe Langr is a wife, mom, writer, blogger, and podcast host of Letters to Women, celebrating the feminine genius. And she joins us today to talk about her book, Sisterhood, which Bonnie is holding right now, Giving and Receiving the Gift of Friendship. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tell us what made you decide to write the book?
So this is kind of a book that chose me versus me choosing the book. In February of 2020, the editors at Our Sunday Visitor reached out and asked me if I'd be interested in writing a book on the nitty-gritty of friendship. And then we all know what happened in March of 2020 and the world shut down. And so I'd said yes and then had a lot of time on my hands. But also everything that I knew about friendship had shifted and changed. I didn't see friends for months, even though they lived in the same city as me. And digital friendship blossomed in a way that I don't think any of us expected. And so it turned out that I was relearning a lot of things. I was in a new season of motherhood with a tiny baby and figuring that out as well. And so a lot of it was relearning things that I thought I knew about friendship. So this was a project that I am very glad to have been chosen for.
That's great, and what a wonderful gift that is to all of us to be able to enjoy it. You know, it's interesting that you bring up the time of the pandemic because it did put friendship in a new lens, and you really had to re-navigate that. I love how you talk about friendship as a necessity and that it's in our spiritual DNA. Can you explore that thought a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're made in the image of God, and God is love itself. And God is also a relationship itself. He's the Trinity. So it's three persons in one God. And so because that's a reality of who God is, that's also a reality of who we are in his image. And so we're made for friendship. We're made for relationship with others. And then one aspect also of that I talk about in the book is this idea of Eucharistic friendship that is community, and then that's also centered in Christ. And when we explore what it means to be a Catholic, we're called to divinization, which is a big word, but I love how C.S. Lewis breaks it down, to become a little Christ. And so when we have that mission, we're able to enter into friendship, both recognizing Christ in the other, but then also bringing Christ into friendship and being able to ask, Lord, where do you want me to go in this friendship? But also, where do you want me to bring you in this friendship as well?
And you address all kinds of friendships in the book, in person, online, as we mentioned, digital friendships. How does a person navigate having friends in a variety of different modes?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to encounter friends, which is such a beautiful thing. I think one universal principle that applies regardless of where you meet someone, whether it's on Instagram or a neighbor right across the street, is the idea that I think a society and our culture at large really pushes us to enter into friendship asking, what can we get from this? Can we get better mental health, better physical health? Can we have someone who encourages us? But I think when we enter into friendship, wherever it is, as Catholics, we're able to enter into it and ask, what can I give in this friendship? What do I have that I can give this? In this book, it's particularly with women, but I think this applies to everyone. And so being able to enter into friendship with a spirit of total generosity, I think applies to anywhere that we meet friends.
Those are great examples. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. This is going to be a two-part question. Like, what are some key factors in discerning a friendship? And then the very practical one, where can people get a copy of this book from Our Sunday Visitor?
Sure. So two quick things when it comes to discerning friendship. The first, it sounds ironic, but I would start with really examining your heart for friendship. Do you have any parts of your story where you've been hurt by friends in the past or haven't been loved well that may be hindering you from giving a gift of yourself as a total free gift in friendship? And then the second one is knowing what makes a good friend. And a lot of these come from St. Paul, right? Someone who is an encourager, someone who can rejoice with you when we're rejoicing, mourning with you when you mourn, and then also someone who can tell you the truth in love, which I think is such an important thing today. And when it comes to exploring more of those topics, you can pick up the book through my publisher, Our Sunday Visitor, wherever you buy books. And then if you have a local Catholic bookstore, check out and see if they carry it. And if not, they can usually order it. So it's important to support local businesses.
That's great. And then also for viewers to have a friendship with you, tell us about the podcast and your website, because I love your website.
Oh, thank you. I had so much fun putting that together. So you can find everything at letterstowomenpodcast.com. And then you can find the podcast, which is just conversations on what it means to be a Catholic woman today, to live out the feminine genius, anywhere you listen to podcasts by searching Letters to Women.
That's great. Chloe, thanks so much for making the time to be with us. Say hello to Maeve. It was great to see her yesterday. And I hope you do really great with the book, because it's a necessary topic for all of us to explore. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.